Welcome back. My name is Phil, aka JCServant, the Utah Polygamist with RPGamer.com. And this is part 4 of my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster playthrough. And in between the last stream that you guys saw, or the last part 3 and part 4 here, I did have a conversation with somebody. And while I was on the phone with them, I spent about 2 hours or so grinding up. So I've gained like 5 levels. So that should save us any grinding time within the game. I blew 1,000 hours into this game. So we've been talking, if you guys see that on YouTube on the stream, the chat comments, we were talking about how if you go onto Steam, my Steam profile, and you see that I put a ton of hours into this game, it's simply because I'm listening to the soundtrack nonstop in the background. It's so good. Victory! Alright. I've had my Final Fantasy 14 hours by not logging out when I'm AFK. So for those of you in the chat who might be experts here, I could be wrong. I think I need to go to the dwarves next. But what do I get? I got the loot, the crown, and... Oh, the Mystic Key! I need to go open up stuff with the Mystic Key. Shucks, I should have been doing that while I was on the phone. Fudge, fudge, fudge. Fudgy, fudgy, fudgy. Was there a Mystic Key thing? Blah, blah, blah. See, I didn't keep notes of where the Mystic Key can be used. So now we're going to be wandering all over the world trying to figure out where they used Mystic Key. Play Final Fantasy 14 with us. I am the last person you want playing Final Fantasy 14 with. I am not a nice I am not a nice person. I'm terrible. You don't want me in your group. They will all leave. They will get one of my sugar speeches or COVID speeches or whatever, and they will all leave because I'm very controversial. I'm terrible. I'm playing online, like off stream, man. I'm just drinking and stuff. The loose lip sync shifts and all that other jazz. Was there a place in this town where you had to use the key to get in? That's the $1 million question. Ah, this guy's in my way. Get out of my way, you son of a biscuit eater. In the end, maybe? I'm trying to rack my brain, and I can't think of anywhere in this town that was like, okay, you need a Mystic Key to get into here. Luckily, you do have the walk fast option. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of do this, kind of like going around. I don't think there's a Mystic Key thing here in Pirate Town. I should probably look at the FAQ, but I don't think there is. I do think I would like the Final Fantasy. Yeah, I have heard that the Final Fantasy 14 is the best Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy X. That's what I have heard. And I believe every rumor I hear. So that's that. Final Fantasy X HD has no encounters toggle. That's super useful. Does this game have something like that? That's a good question. Let's take a look. We have continue auto battle, which I could probably turn on now that I'm in weaker area, so it'll just go right into it. I don't think there's something that turns it all off altogether. Like turns off auto, like you're just going to keep getting into these random encounters. But by turning on the auto battle right away, I didn't have to tell it to do auto battle, so it saves me 0.3 seconds there. It will auto battle. I've got it turned on. These are just going to be all super easy encounters here, and I just noticed my face is covering up half the party in combat. We'll put me up here, and hopefully that doesn't block me too much. Oh, but now I'm covering the mini-map. We'll put me over here. There's no end to our shenanigans here at RPGamer.com, where you get only the most professional podcast of videos. It was only Moogle being covered up. Final Fantasy X-2 has better combat than 10, and it also has better music. What can I do for you? Alright, tell me if the music and my voice volume is a good mix, guys. Let me know if that's off. Always appreciate that. To bounce around like a screensaver. I know, right? Like the face screensaver. That's hilarious. I've been thinking about just using one of those filters so that gives me mostly a transparent background. I don't have a green screen, and I couldn't fit one behind my chair even if I did. But, you know, you've seen like those Zoom call things where it just uses like a computer filter so you can see around me better and see more of the game. I haven't done that yet, but that's something I've been thinking about. I believe there's let me just check a look at Elf Town. I don't think Elf Town had any. Elfheim had any locked. Super, maybe it was down here. That's the weapon shop. I remember this like way back in the 80s or 90s when I played this, and I got that stupid Mystic Key. And I was like doing the same thing where I was just going everywhere in the world because I did not take good notes. I should have taken notes where I ran into these places with a notepad, but that would be too easy. That would be actually thinking ahead. And instead, I wander around the world like a bimbling imbecile, trying to find those sacred doors of locking. I'm more about 1,000 words. All right, thank you for that, Chaos. Let's see if I know for a fact that an elven castle here somewhere, I think it's in the upper right-hand corner, is in fact a treasure. If this little dodo would get out of my way, there is a treasure up here, a treasure area. Getting around up there is the fun part. It's probably one of those things where you gotta move like one. Oh, did I go too far? It's probably one of those things where you gotta go like 1 pixel to the right or 1 pixel to the left. 1 pixel, there we go. 1 block. Go around, get yourself up here to some treasure room. Mithril hammer, 800 gold, 700 gil, and the bronze gloves. And Tam is going to get some bronze gloves there. I don't know what you do with... Oh, is that for the white mage? Oh, yeah. That's a nice little bump in power for her. Not that we have her doing a whole lot of melee. Just pull up that walkthrough. That's what I should do, right? That would be the smart thing to do, is just look at the walkthrough. This is Morrowind. When I'm playing it, it certainly is. It's going to be Morrowind. There's no doubt about it. I'm terrible. I'm just horrible. All right, so let's take a look here. If we take a look at the wiki, table of contents. Let's see. Crystal Airship. Crystal, the journey begins. The Prince of Elfland. Return. Retreat. Revive. It wants you to go back to Mount Druger, which I don't think I've done yet. And I probably need to do Druger. That would probably be awesome if I did Druger. Bum, bum, bum. I love this music. This music is the best music in the world. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but there should be no doubt that this is the best music in the world. Yeah, I don't think the walkthrough is helping me very much. I'm gonna go off memory. There isn't that many places we've been to, and I do know for a fact that back in that cave, unfortunately, it's back in the cave over there. There was more, so unfortunately, it's a bit of a walk to get there and get back. The special keys were dumb. I remember writing them down on a notepad. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I should just Google Mystic Key Locate Mystic Treasure Locations. And I gotta like multitask and come back over here and keep these guys going, because they can fight while I look up stuff. We can totally do 3 things at once. I love this Overland song. Let's see, locations. All right. The Mystic Key can be found Cornea Castle. Rooms open can be found in Castle Cornea, the Chaos Shrine, the Western Keep, Marsh Cave, Elven Castle, and Mount Druger. Now, the fun part is actually, remember, where in the beep all of those places are. We just got through with Elven Castle, and we're going to the Marsh Cave next, so that's easy to get to. There is a map that shows all the treasure chests unopened. Oh, that's true too. All right, give me 1 second. On this, oops, on this next fight, I'm going to go. Oh, great! Now I don't know if to go north or south. Lovely. Excuse me, coming through. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something from upstairs. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I was dying. Fighter Joe, thank you for following. I really appreciate that. I hope you're having a good time watching me sweat, because that's what I was doing. I was like sweating there. I had to pump up the AC. Whew. So a little good exercise there. Just look at the map that's in the box. What box? I don't think it lets me go to the second floor, though. Is the only thing. All right. So let's take a look here, because you can go second floor right here, and let's see. That gives you to a ladder down to third floor, which I think is where the treasure chest is at. I could be wrong. Oh, the NAS copy come with all the maps. Well, it probably did. I don't remember. But then it wouldn't show you which keys. Maybe it does show you which treasure chests need the mystic key to unlock them. Let me talk about for a minute how I ended up playing this game and my journey in doing this replay here. I'm just making sure you guys can hear the game. Suppose, let me just do a sound test here on my phone. Yeah, I guess you can hear it. Okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, you guys let me know if it ever gets out of whack. So anyways, so with RP Gamer, you know, RP Gamers we're mostly console-centric, which means as a group, we tend to lean more towards JRPGs and the such. I like JRPGs well enough. It's not usually where I spend the bulk of my time. You know, I've got a long history, and look, we got all these rooms here, but I don't think any of these are locked with... See, this doesn't tell me. This is very unhelpful. This doesn't tell me if any of these are locked with the mystic key. What the hell? This thing is horrible. All right, I'm gonna have to look a little bit deeper into the list here. All right, treasure, Cornea Castle, Western Marsh Caves. It is in location B3. Okay, well, I think that's where I'm at is B3. So it's one of these rooms. At least it tells me that much. I will simply have to... let me see if it'll... Actually, I could probably just look at this map here, and maybe it'll tell me. Is there a map here? B3? B3. Nope. It's pretty much like it's too small for us to draw a map of. You should be able to figure this out. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and guess it's in the lower right-hand corner. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Joe. That's what I'm thinking. So anyways, when Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster came out, there was a bit of a concern that all the streamers on the stream team would all start playing the same games at the same time. Like, we'd all start with Final Fantasy 1 or whatever have you. But me personally, I wasn't planning on playing Final Fantasy at all. I was okay just skipping this whole thing. But then somebody came along and said, why don't we each pick one game from the series? And that way, each of the streamers are each doing a game, so everyone's kind of getting different perspectives, right? And that seemed like to be a decent idea. So somebody had already picked 4 and 6, which probably would have been my first choices. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll do Final Fantasy 1. I'm kind of like, you know, that seems like a good idea. So I end up with Final Fantasy 1, and I pre-ordered it, and that's where I downloaded it. And I'm just like, you know, I'll just play through this. At least it's not a long game. It's no reason I picked Final Fantasy 1. It's a shorter game. And I'll do my due diligence and stream it and whatever. I played it way back in the day, and I can tell you my thoughts on it at the time. But suffice to say, I wasn't super impressed with it back then, and I didn't expect to be impressed with it now. But this remake is so well done. And I've dabbled in the other remakes of the past. Yeah, that one. There it is right here, this treasure chest. Monsters? Oh, do not auto on a bunch of sorcerers. Well, at least he died quickly. Well, those extra levels I grinded up is probably going to help out here, big time. But anyway, as you guys know, who watch my stream, I have been blown away by the music. It's just phenomenal. I mean, of course, the graphics are pretty cool too, but holy cow, this is just something else. Yeah, it was the 15-tile minigame, right? How did I not have implied dibs on Final Fantasy VI? I don't know. I don't know. Right? How does that not happen, right? What can you do? What can you do? You bake your cake with what you got, as we say in the South, and whatnot. Did I get something from that? I'm sorry, I went through that so quick. I don't even know what they gave me. Nothing there. Nothing there. What did I get? I feel like I need to go back and watch the replay. Did I get something from that? Get a pat on the back? Get an attaboy? Anyway. Apparently nothing's so great because when I do optimize equipment, no one's got better equipment out of it. But yeah, but I am very now I'm loving this, and you know I love this so much. I'm enjoying. Oh, what's this? I'm enjoying this so much that I've already started playing 2 on the side. Like I'll play 2 and 3. I had no intention of playing 2 and 3 before because I wasn't very impressed when I played them on the emulator. I played them for a few hours each on emulator way back in the day. Fan translated ROMs. They're just too old school, but. No, these remasters are so well done. You know, from what I understand, the original composer came back, remixed the songs, and it's clear that he put a lot of love and tender loving care. Yeah, I'm supposed to get a silver armlet or something. So I don't think if we look here, I don't have any silver armlets sitting in storage. So I must need another chest down here. Then we're just going to have to get through 512 random encounters to get to it, because it's an old school Final Fantasy game. But anything that doesn't kill me makes me stronger. And this is why we tend to buy copious amounts of potions. Aha! Fresh treasure chest. Ah! Dang nabbit, these darn wizards hit like a truck. Or what are they? Piscodemon? They're like Pokemon, except they're uglier. Yeah, I don't know what those things are, but we'll go ahead and take them out. Orange mind flayers. I mean, that's what they look like, right, Joe? Like orange mind flayers here. Have y'all seen some of our staff members on stream have been playing Final Fantasy 2 and 3? Have y'all seen those? At least there were some good XP. Oh, that's the antidote. Okay. Chaos, that's a great question. What are my thoughts on Baldur's Gate 3? Um, I'm not, as you guys saw in my Solasta playthrough, I am not a fan of the 5th edition rules for a computer game. As a computer game, I feel like it's a little too simple from what I've come to expect from a computer game. It doesn't translate well, for me, Solasta was not as satisfying an experience as it might have been for other people. I'd rather play something with a little bit more depth to it, but I do have faith in Larian Studios, who already said that they were going to be taking some liberties with the 5th edition rules to make this a more satisfying game. And I think they're having to make that statement. I know there was some pushback on that, but I think they had to do that because they knew that it wasn't a great video game if they tried to make the game exactly the way like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 followed the rules pretty closely. And I might point out that most people who like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, it was in spite of the D&D rules, not because of them. The D&D rules don't always make for great video gaming, but for me personally, I enjoy them, but a lot comes down to the implementation. But 5th edition rules are just not good video game material. 4th edition was supposedly made with video games in mind. Let's give this poor guy Tam an antidote here. But I have faith in them. Oh, hello, quick save opportunity. This is interesting. There's no way this ends up poorly. Ambushed by mind flayers who hit like a truck. But with all that being said, I do have faith in them, and I am looking forward to it. Plus, when you get to the other side of the RPG equation, which is the storytelling, the character development, and stuff like that, the studio has proven themselves in that regard. I don't know if they're really up to BioWare level, but I think that they have done really good jobs in the past. So I think overall it's going to be a good product. I'm looking forward to it. But whether or not, I probably won't buy it day one myself. I've not bought many of the other games day one. It just depends. I don't know why I gravitate towards buying more indie games. Like I bought a lot of my roguelikes day one and stuff like that. But when it comes to these AAA, titles, I just don't seem to have a great record with doing that. Let's do haste on. Yeah. Let's see what else y'all say. Let's see here. I caught Scar playing 3 earlier. Cool. And what were your thoughts there, with the lack of answer? On Final Fantasy 3. Badai Matt. Hey, welcome Badai Matt. Nice seeing you again. Let me just finish. Let me put in some commands for these guys. Let's see here. Waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 to be complete, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I don't really do the early access thing very, very often. I might do it for you guys for a stream to show off a game that's coming up for you. If somebody, asks for it, or I've got a preview copy from a publisher, but for the most part, I don't. I don't personally buy early access games very often. I won't say never, but very, very rarely. I bought Valheim early with my own money, and I played it for like 5 or 6 hours. Got it out of my system, and I'm putting it away. I know they're still updating it. I know people are still loving it, but I want to wait till it's completely done so I have the full impact as much as possible. Let me see here. I am very much looking forward. I am I do like the Valheim type of gameplay. Let's give him a little extra curing there, and give her some extra curing. Give me that chest. More monsters. It's like the gauntlet of... Ooh. Well, I think I just found a reason for my wizard to get involved. We're going to set them all on fire. Set them all on fire. Let's see here. I did Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale on PlayStation 5 and had a decent time with them. The remasters, you can play those on PlayStation 5. I guess because there was PlayStation 4 releases and that would work. Yeah. I played Icewind Dale, the remastered one, or whatever it's called, slightly upgraded one. There's my silver amulet. But I played that on the PC, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really do like Icewind Dale. I know a lot of people are like, this doesn't have the story of the other ones. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really good. What am I supposed to do with that silver? Where's the silver amulet? Let's see here. An amulet of worked silver. View description. Defense 15. Ooh. So let me see here. We have a defense of 33, a defense of 6, a defense of 3. So can we not equip it on Pumpkin here? I think we shall. There we go. Give him a nice little boost. And let's go ahead and use another Cura on our main guy here. There we go. Now we can GTFO out of here. Thank you very much. Hey, Tam, you're doing pretty good, buddy. As our group tank, you are doing a great job of holding down the team. Let's see what else you guys say here. Seeing this and 3 earlier in action is making me want to get them, but I really feel like I need to resist. No, Moogle, you need to give into the dark side. You need to do it. You need to get this, because this is a really well done effort. D&D time, always a good time. D&D time. Let's see here. Indies early access being cheaper helps break your buying resistance. Actually, that's a very good point, Chaos. And I will honestly say, they know that they're doing this to me, right? Even with like this Final Fantasy thing here, if you bought it right when it came out, you save 20%. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it for 20% off. Now, if I knew how good it was, I would have done it right away without hesitation, even if it wasn't 20%. But I think like the 20% changed me from maybe buying just 3 titles, because I was going to get just 1, 4, and 6, to just go ahead and buying all 6 of them. Now, Final Fantasy V, it should be said, I have played Final Fantasy V on the Game Boy Advance, and I enjoyed that well enough. I don't think I put it into the same exact echelon as Final Fantasy 4 and 6 in terms of storytelling or being memorable, but that could also be me looking at stuff with some rose-colored glasses, because I played 5 much later. Let me see here. Do we have some more potions? We have some more high potions, what we have. Well, let's just use regular potions. Over here. Need to buy some more potions. But I should have enough to get out of here and get out to the next area. You know, these guys are a bit of a pain if you got this on auto battle, just because they're so physically resistant, and what they really need is a good fire spell up the rear end. Let us take a look for a minute. There was a great conversation. Let's see here. Let us head on out of the cave. Am I going to get all the achievements? No, I'm not going to get all the achievements unless I get like all the achievements automatically for listening to the music non-stop. Final Fantasy VII Pixel Remaster. Well, isn't that what Final Fantasy VII Remake is? Moogle? So Peter, are you going to do all the achievements on this? Is that why you're saying yes, please? Because you've totally got this. Oh, I still got my fire spell and auto cast. Oops. Well, that's one way to tear through the enemies faster. I didn't really need those magic points anyways. Oh, yes, the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. Wouldn't that be interesting? Like a 2D like this of Final Fantasy VII? Oh my gosh, I'd love that. I'm working on level 50 party after my solo monking. God bless your heart. Yeah, that's dedication. I wanna, I'm definitely gonna continue to play the other ones though, because I think what this does make me want to do is play through all the Final Fantasies 1 through 12, then maybe on to 13 and 14. Like that would lead to the online game. Just going like a big old Final Fantasy binge kick. Well, they you know what? You know, Chaos, there's nothing wrong with liking 3D. I will say personally, I didn't care much for 3D back in the PlayStation 1 era. It was like midway through the PlayStation 2 cycle that I felt like 3D was starting to look good to me. And I think Final Fantasy 12 really knocked it out of the park with its texture work and stuff. Aside from Vaughn's fake abs, those were just sad. But for the most part, most of the other graphics were like sorry, lost my train of thought there for a second. But anyways, I mean, 10 looked really good too, actually. 10 was phenomenal for its time. As an early PlayStation 2 game, it looked so much better than most of the other games coming out around that time. I said I'd want Final Fantasy 2 HD, and he said 2D was a regression. Oh, hey, look, we leveled up. Tam goes up to 412 hit points and gains agility and stamina. Doomerang gets 4 whopping hit points and gains agility, stamina, and intellect. Moogle gets 2 more hit points and nothing else. Moogle just rolled a whammy on the wheel there. Sorry, Moogle. Do I need a heal? I could probably use one of my... what did it say? The sleeping bags? Sleeping bags. I got more magic points at least, right? Okay, so I remember this locked room, I believe, was over there. And you gotta go up and around. So we will do that. Not too hard to get to this one. Monsters! Ooh. Ooh, are these undead? These, oh, they're wraiths. I feel like these are undead. I feel that makes them a great target for that spell. Alright, let's see. I want to just see this. You don't see, I haven't done Diarrhea a lot. I just want to see it kick some butt. There you go, White Mage kicking butt and taking names. And Chu goes up for 5 more hit points, some agility, and some luck. And she got a Falchion. Are mummies undead? Let's find out. Let's see. Just a different style, but someone could think that. I like Final Fantasy X, but I found myself not caring about the story after I unlocked Blitzball. It's all about the Blitzball. It's fine. That's dandy. That's fine. We got a power staff. Good. We'll look at these items in a minute. Let's grab the last one. Just giving us all kinds of reasons to use our Diarrhea spell. I do like her little mouth is going like blah 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 blah. Yeah, Blitzball was the best. I don't know why I like Blitzball so much. It's really not the deepest game, but it was addictive in its time. Alright, and this one gives us steel gloves. Alright, so let's see here. He cannot equip the steel gloves. But he can. That brings up to a 35 defense. Let's see what that weapon is. A Falchion is apparently what he's already using. It's the same as a broadsword. Not a whole lot of help there. You know, I gotta... Oh yeah, I guess a Falchion would help him. Could he use a second? Nope, can't use a second weapon. Okay, well, there we go. Then we have a power staff. Attack plus 12. So his attacks can go back, actually he's going to go down. It might be an item that we can actually use in battle. So we'll just have to give that a shot when we get into a fight and see if that's a useful item. Yeah, but Blitzball was definitely ahead of its time. Totally ahead of its time. Let's say everything, it's ahead of its time. Let's see here. A staff with good attack power. It's not letting me use it, so I don't think it's an item that can be used. Yeah, but I wasn't a fan of PlayStation 1 3D graphics. I really, really wasn't. I can see why they made the backgrounds in Final Fantasy games, you know, out of 2D pixel artwork, because it just... Yeah. Taking names, or kicking butt and taking names. Okay, so we've gotten all of the hidden items from those 3 areas. Let's go ahead and rest in the inn, because we blew a lot of resources out there. Especially could see that if someone hasn't seen recent 2D games, imagine 2Ds as older ones. I tell you what, 2D games can still look really, really good. Odin Sphere on the PlayStation 4 on an OLED TV screen is sublime. It is to my eyes what this game's music is to my ears. It's just phenomenal. Yeah, we're at that point now where we can just buy a crap ton of like potions and no one cares. Okay, maybe we'll not buy too many of those just yet. I kind of like these ethers here, giving you a magic point. We didn't have that back in the day. Phoenix Downs to bring back a KO'd ally could be useful. Gold Needle, Cure Stone. I need those. I need some of these. Whoa, those are expensive. We're probably ready to move up to tents. Or we have cottages. Ooh, wow, those cottages are pretty expensive compared to the tents. He basically said, I'm not sure who he is, I might have lost track of the conversation. But yeah, 2D graphics for GBA. You know, I will say, between us girls, okay, and the entire internet, I'm a little frustrated with all of these games that come out that are like, we've got, you know, we're retro graphics, and so basically it's an excuse for them to do low-res polygon graphics instead of doing high-res 2D art. And honestly, I just would rather see high-res 2D art on some of this stuff, on a lot of this stuff. Like, I'm okay with Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster being pixelated, and they're good-looking pixels, because they're original games that you want to maintain the spirit of. But not every game needs to look like it's from the Nintendo, and half of these developers don't even know how to do that well. Let's see here. Vox cures silence, fear. We have Null Frost. Cures poison. Drives enemies away in fear. I'll do this. And we'll cure... I don't know which one's worse. You can't even cast a spell on yourself if you're silent, so... Let me see what she... Okay, so now we have all of our spells up to 4th level. What's really funny is we're high enough level to cast like 7th level spells, and we're not even close to those town jug, because I maybe have over-grinded a bit. Over-grinded, is that a word? I'm sure that's a word. Okay, so... Castle Cornea has some. The Chaos Shrine, we know where that's at. The Western Keep, is located on the northwest of Pelfine. I think we already just did that one. Marsh Cave, we did that one. Mount Druker is where we need to go next. And the Marsh Cave we did. So we just need to cash on in Castle Cornelia. I hope Octopath for being so rich with the means I have one animation. Yeah, I just understand, like, I don't understand why. Oh, I understand why. It saves money. Oh, it's old school and stuff. So, you know, like, if I'm making a retro game that's supposed to be evocative of older style games, but for a modern audience, I think you need to keep in mind that that you can do that and make some changes. Like, for example, this game here is using orchestrated music. Obviously, back in the day, it was synthesized music, but our ears have, we've been doing music now for years, real music for years. So they've upped the game, so to speak. Saving anywhere, like that's a thing nowadays. So give it the program, like those types of things. I think one of the Dark Spire's big failings was that they were trying so hard to be old school. They really went old school, like negative armor classes and not telling you what the items do and things like that. Way too old school. So where's this darn treasure room at? Treasure, must be those rooms over there. How do I get to it? Oh, it might be those rooms down there. Okay, maybe not. We also had a really good conversation going in our Discord that I want to address as soon as I figure out how to get to the loot. That's weird. What's the purpose of those areas down there if there's not staircases? Oh, to house the NPCs that say thank you? Weird. Okay. So... a beautiful lute handed down for generations, Princess of Cornea. Oh, this is one of those. I see it now. I see the entrance at the top, which means it's one of those deals where you gotta go outside and just move one tile without exiting. Or go outside and go around. Whee! You silly Final Fantasy, playing your silly little Final Fantasy tricks on me. The time has come to use the key to open up the doors. The equipment within is sure to help you. Well, thank you for your permission. A saber. A mythic knight. A cottage. Oh, I'm glad there's a cottage in there. Nitro powder. That's actually a mix for his drink. His morning protein drink. I don't think any of them use that mithril knife. Black Mage Thief. How do you fit a cottage into a chest? Magic. As I've learned from a friend of mine, magic explains everything you see in RPGs. It's the Digimon capsules or the Pokemon Pokeballs, right? I pick you, cottage! And he throws the ball down and the cottage pops out. That's exactly what happens. Alright, so let's take a look at where this room might be. Oh, pfft. Yeah. Stupid room. Fine, I'll walk around to all of them real quick. let's see what we were talking about earlier. Contains a rune blade. That actually sounds pretty cool. Ooh, and it looks pretty cool. Okay, let's keep on moving. Let's keep on cruising. Let's see here. Wargroove is on sale on the Switch. Oh, well, that's good. That's a good game. I don't know why it doesn't quite have the same charm to me though as Advanced Tactics. I know it's based a lot on Advanced Tactics, but it's missing some of that charm for me. Werebuster? What the hell is a Werebuster? It's a big old sword. It's used by the warrior and red mage. He's got a lot of weapons here. A gold needle. Oh, that's just used to cure stone. Oh, Steam reviews. Alright, who uses Steam reviews? What are the benefits and what are the negatives of using Steam reviews? That's what I know, right? That's why you have me to kind of like wrap it up and say, hey, let's talk about Steam reviews. This almost reminds me of one of those idle games, right? I was playing Soda Dungeon. This kind of reminds me of Soda Dungeon. Just don't like, they're leveling up without you. They don't need your help. I only looked at the negatives to see what people are complaining about and to see if I'd complain about it as well. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'll give some of y'all some more time to flesh out your thoughts as we head down to this extra room here. As I slowly begin to realize that maybe auto battle isn't the fastest way of taking care of some of these mobs. Just gonna like hit them all with a lightning bolt spell. Alright, so that chest is already a gone deal, and I think we're done here. Like, yeah, for those short fights, that quick auto battle gets you through pretty fast. Okay, so now we need to go over to the other to the dwarven area, the dwarven dot you see over there on the left in yellow. Actually, I should start my YouTube stream here because we actually haven't made any good progress aside from opening a treasure chest. So, let me grab my notebook. Let's see here, we're already an hour in. So we'll save the YouTube community an hour. We'll miss some good conversations, but I'm sure they don't want to watch an hour of me running around. '03, 482. Welcome, my name is Phil, aka JCServant, the Utah and Poly Games with RPGamer.com, your source for news, reviews, and home to the best gaming community on the net. Welcome to JCServant Plays Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Part 4. And I'm just jumping right into it here. There's no big introduction or whatever have you, because I have spent the last 3 hours or so doing some grinding, and since we last left the stream last time, you get the Mystic Keys I got the Mystic Keys you might recall, and I used that to unlock some treasure chests all around the world, and that took about an hour to go and collect all of those, and took another few hours of grinding, and I didn't want to make you guys on YouTube suffer through that, so we have cut all of that out so we can kind of keep this adventure going as we head next to the Dwarven Mines and the such. So I don't really pay attention to positive reviews, right? The negatives, anyone can write at 0.1 hours. We've been talking in our chat channel, by the way, on our Twitch channel about negative Steam reviews and, you know, and positive Steam reviews and whether or not those are good things or bad things to look at. As we head into Mount Druger here, and we talk to a bunch of dwarves going lily ho. With the crystal eye, even the blind can see, which we took care of that crystal eye problem that lady was having earlier. I'm looking for some lava stones. We'll see amazing material that makes things float in the air. So, lala ho. But, hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work we go, exactly. She flips the white mage is vulgar. She flips the party enemies off when she wins, right? Mind that when it comes to defense, a good armlet can be every bit as vital as body armor. You should try it out sometime. I'm not even going to attempt to do whatever accent these guys are going for. The earth has started to rot. It began in the west, and no, the decay spreads. If only I could have some of the legendary metal adamantite. We don't want to call it adamantium because that kind of, you know, gets into Marvel territory. I'd be able to craft such a magical sword. I do have dynamite. Don't dwarves like dynamite? I feel like my dynamite should be good for somebody. Nitro powder. The explosive force in this powder will have my canal open in no time flat. It'll blow your brains. Oh, we'll stand back, boys and girls. Oh, you know it's epic when the whole party comes out to watch this. Oh yeah, this is gonna go well. What are you standing around for? The power's set to blow. Unless you plan on going with it, you best get out while you can. Run away! Oh. Well, just take it all in. Boom. There's a canal for your ship. There we go. I cannot wait to see what lies out beyond that canal. Well, you guys don't have the ship, I do, so I'm not sure what you guys think you're going to see. I like how he sets it right there, but then you can't really go through there, so not sure what the point of that was. Ooh, lots of treasure chest. Ooh, there's a tent, a great helm, a worm killer, an ether, a potion, a mithril mail, a bunch of gil, and a cottage. Once again, we have managed, through the power of magic, to stick an entire cottage inside of the treasure chest. Nothing for the casters, unfortunately. Matoya would worked out just as well. He should have blown a hole through the Selvan Kingdom as a stupid elves. Yeah, some strong stuff, right? It would have been really hilarious if he was like, "Excuse me, can you put on me finger? I'm just gonna bend over here, just put this, and we'll clear that canal out for you." That would have been, I think, a little bit more fun. Okay, so we need to bring some mithril back to him, but in the meantime, we have opened up the canal, and that's probably an important part of what we need to do next. Some nourishing cottage cheese, right? It was supposed to be that would be hilarious. It was supposed to be cottage cheese, but they couldn't fit all the text, so they had to, settle for what they could get. Okay. Ah, music in this is so nice. Kill a few more pirates here while I figure out what to do next. Return to the Prince, Mount Druger, and now we're ready to go for the Crystal of Earth. Now the Warriors of Light have passed beyond the inner lands to the Great Western Sea. Here they'll encounter the first of 4 elementals. So let's get over to it. Let's do this. And the funny thing is, I think it's like all the way on the other side. Oh look, there's a town right there. We gotta go to that town. Do. Little water creatures. Don't mess with us. Let's see here. What do we have here? This is the county of Melmond. Oh, look at this earth rot. Oh my gosh, it's almost as if an elemental fiend of earth or something. Restore the crystal to grace. If the earth crystal regains its glow, life will return to the earth. The hills and valleys will again be green. You know, you guys could just leave here and go across the, canal. It's really great over there. Place looks great. And would you move out of the way of the Black Magi? Thank you. Ooh, let's see. Instantly kills all enemies. Why do I feel like that's probably not going to work as advertised? Teleports the party to the previous floor. Reduces one enemy's number of attacks slower. Probably really good for bosses, I would imagine. Like, slowing down one enemy. Not really a good use of a 5th level spell. When you got slow at 3rd level, that slows everybody down. But I'm going to guess this is like your boss killer here, right? Yeah, these instant death spells just tend to be a little overrated. Well, that's weird. Okay, so we're going to do Slowra, Teleport. It won't let me learn Teleport. Moogle can't learn Teleport. Black Mage can't use Teleport? I did use something like kills all mosquitoes. Where's the part where the good old religious fiction is bad kicks in? Religious fiction? Might need a class change. Oh, and you get no experience on instant death. That makes it... You need a class upgrade for teleport. Interesting. Well, screw you, vendor. I tell you what, the best place I've actually... The only game that I remember really doing good with... restores hit points to... Ooh, this is good. A lot of hit points to one ally. Revives a KO'd ally. Deals damage to all undead enemies. And restores hit points to the entire party. All of these are useful. But of course, some of those might be locked out. But... you know, life can be done with an item anyways. And my rule of thumb, generally speaking, is if something can be done with an item, it's a low priority. Because gold is not usually an issue in this game, especially when you grind like I do when you're talking to friends. So, restores hit points a lot to one ally. That could possibly also be done with an item, but Kuraka might be a little bit better. And that cannot be done with an item, and healing the entire party cannot be done with an item. So, we'll save life. We'll not worry about life there. Shin Megami Tensei. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was about to say. Persona Q, and even with Shin Megami Tensei games, they can still be kind of hit or miss. But Shin Megami Tensei, or Persona Q, the death spells work, and the status effect spells work so often, almost a little too often. But especially if the enemy's weak, they're going to work really well. And I really enjoy Persona Q a lot. I don't think I'm really worried about these guys getting new weapons when I just got all those other new weapons, so... we got an inn right there, but I don't think we need to rest. I think we're fine on MPs. The vampire attacked, destroying our church and leaving our city in shambles. There's nothing we can do to stop the ruination of the earth. Restore the crystals to grace. Talk to these people here. Watts is my name? Watts is my name. Isn't that the name of those characters you always see, Biggs and Watts or whatever it's called? I've come all the way from Drugger to find out the spring heat of the Earth's decay. Okay, good for you. I've heard that the ancients possess something with the power to make the ships float in the sky. In a cave on the southern tip of this continent lives a man named Sada. He is a wise man who knows much. So that's probably where we need to head next without, looking at the FAQ. Long ago, prosperous civilization thrived in Northland. Now it's fallen into ruin. This music's nice. A giant living in the cave eats rocks. He'll just about eat any kind of rock, but I hear he especially likes gems. He can't get enough of them. There is nothing I, the great genius Dr. Un, do not know. What, you never heard of me? Inconceivable. The Cave of Earth is to the south of Melmond on the peninsula called the Devil's Tail. It used to be closer. The closer you got to the cave, the more fertile soil. Now it's a barren waste. The earth is decaying, and it's all the doing of the vampire that lives in the Cavern of Earth. Our town is in such rotten shape because he's blocking the flow of power to the earth. Will you stop him for us? Why don't you go stop him yourself? No, of course not. Wow, I don't have enough gold for the knight's armor. Wow, after all that grinding, I did too. We do have one silver armlet equipped. We could buy another one for the other wizard. Oh, we have one equipped on the Kung Fu guy. Let's see what it looks like on her. Wow, good defense. Good defense for both of them. So yeah, no, we're gonna buy a second one. That's a good buy. There we go. Don't forget petite. Biggs and Wedge, right? So maybe this is the first time we've seen like a Biggs there. I prefer Garden No Man. Is this the original? Oh, this is. Oh, it's not Biggs and Wedge. It's Watts. Just think Watts could have been a thing in every Final Fantasy game, right? That'd be cool. Yeah, my problem with the status effect spells in most RPGs is that their hit rate is so low that it's like, and enemies die anyways. They're not usually that tough, like your grunt mobs. So why waste your turns doing them? It comes down to attack, heal. Most of these games, for the vast majority of fights, come down to attack, heal, which I find very boring and not engaging. Like this, for example. Luckily, this has quick auto battle. But when it first came out, this battle system. So let me tell you a little bit about my Final Fantasy 1 experience. So, I grew up playing older computer role-playing games, like the Western RPGs and the such. So let's save because we haven't saved in a while. So when I finally got my hands on a copy of Final Fantasy 1, which was not right away at all. I probably got it years after it came out because we didn't have a lot of money, so I got it at a yard sale or something, or from a relative during Christmas or whatever. At first I was excited. It's a new role-playing game and stuff. I like role-playing games. But then when I played it, I was just so nonplussed. And I think you're right. It came with the instruction book and everything. What's in this cave? Should I go into this cave? This is the giant's cave. The giant that likes to eat the gems. You shall not pass. Okay, that's hilarious. Not gonna lie, that is funny. Apparently I need a key item to get past him. Yeah, the status effects were used mostly against you, yeah. But, I mean, so anyways, yeah, but with this game, so I played this game, and as you guys can see, the vast majority of combats really just come down to attack, heal. And you gotta sit there and put in the commands every time. But compared to, like, the Gold Box games, Wizardry and stuff, these things just felt, especially the Gold Box games, because the Gold Box games had tactical maneuvering. This game has none of that. So it just felt so boring compared to it. Using the guidebook that came with it, I was eventually able to beat the game, but I didn't feel it was very satisfactory. I didn't see what everyone thought was such a big deal about this game and the such. It wasn't until later games like Final Fantasy IV and especially Final Fantasy VI that my eyes was open to how cool JRPGs can be, because they can tell an epic story with true character development and evocative emotion, using music and graphics in a way that Western RPGs were never designed to do. Alright, so this is the Cavern of the Earth. Now we're supposed to be talking to some old man for wisdom on the southern tip of the peninsula? So, is that down? No, I don't see any old man down here. Is that a different peninsula? Maybe it's past the Earth Gym guy. So you probably need to go to this Earth Cave. But anyways, I do remember sort of kind of doing this before, this being a rough dungeon back in the day. Now I'm pretty over leveled at this point, I think. I'd like to think. So we'll see. But anyways, yeah, and then I played Dragon Quest IV, which ultimately ended up also being disappointing to me. Those were the two big non-action-y RPGs I played, and to me they just did not compare to computer RPGs back in the day. So that's another reason why I wasn't super excited to play this remake. But I think they've done a really good job with this. And what do we have here? We have doors down there. We have a door over there. I don't know which order to do those in. I'm going to take the one at the top. Okay, we got some Vipers here. We'll go ahead and take these guys out one at a time. Okay, they seem to be a little beefy, but not too bad. The western point, you fight giants every step. I do like to fight giants. So yeah, let's talk about status effects in JRPGs. Yeah, I'm always disappointed with them. They are a way to, if done correctly, they can certainly make your fights more tactical. But most RPGs, unfortunately, they're so worried about you killing a boss with them or whatever have you, they make the success rate so low as to really not be worth a turn. I think the other part of that is because the encounter rates are designed to be... Ooh, it's an Earth Elemental. Geez, what's an Earth Elemental weak to? I have no idea. I don't with a blizzard. But, oh, or, he could just die like that. There's that. It's a little anticlimactic, really. But, that's still a thing in this version? What's still a thing in this version? What's still a thing? Ooh, we get a whole bunch of spiders here. I'm sorry about this, Moogle. I'll tell you what, Moogle, for you, I will burn them with a 3rd level spell and get revenge for all the spiders who have caused you issues in your past. Why wouldn't the giant thing be a thing in this version? I feel like I'm missing some context here as I set these spiders on fire. Those spiders will never bother you again, Moogle, for I have eradicated them. Okay, the staircase is down there, and these must be treasure rooms down there. And we do like our treasure. Status effects are more for lower levels, like if you poison a boss. When you're higher level, it's just attack, kill the thing. So if the battles were tougher, like let's say your battles against regular mobs were less numerous, but they were tougher, then status effects could play a bigger role in slowing the enemy, poisoning the enemy, because the fights are going to go on for more rounds. And generally speaking, in the more tactical RPGs like Dungeons & Dragons, they do play more of a role. Slow and haste are huge against any fight in Dungeons & Dragons that they're used, because they go on for more than one round at a time, whereas JRPGs are just like attack, attack, heal, and you're done. Which this is the healing part. I need to use an antidote. Antidote. Boop. Shouldn't go that way. But yeah, it would definitely be, you know, like they oh, hello, Minotaurs. Hello, quick death. Let me go back into configuration and turn off auto battle. Status effects. I figured it was unintentional or something. Like, apparently they took out PNEOP. Really? I don't remember. You know, like, my memories of this game are so vague. I don't remember if there was a giant area in here before in the original. If not, I have no idea. Oh, the mummies put your characters to sleep. That's rude. Oh, more mummies. And you're done. Now let's see what's in here. More treasure chest. Monster! Who? How do they even fit these monsters into the chest? Nobody knows. We've already figured out before that the earth elementals don't usually last too long. Ooh, but they do hit hard. We do have a level up. Tam goes up by 27 hit points. He gains some strength, intellect, and luck. Doomerang goes up by 25 hit points. It gains strength, intellect, and luck as well. Chu gains 25 whopping hit points and gains agility, stamina, and intellect. And Mulo gains a couple of hit points, but at least finally gets some agility, stamina, and intellect. I can't hold any more potions? Really? I guess I bought too many potions. Alright, let's go over to that other little area. Oh no, it's Minotaurs! Now it's dead Minotaurs. Now, I think when you look back at like those gold box games and a lot of those, you know, games, there wasn't very much sound in those games. The sound was just non-existent, especially when you compare it to even Final Fantasy 1. You know, that's one of the things that made it more of a cinematic experience, even back in those days, was the music. You attained it, and I fought that guy for an antidote. The elementals go down fast, so you can get your gill. Well, he kind of looks like a sad version of the Incredible Hulk. That poor giant. Oh, 5 snakes. Occasionally get poisoned by these guys. That's why you want to have plenty of antidotes. Nothing like walking around perpetual poisoning. I've been in situations where you're limping out of the dungeon, losing hit points the entire way. Not fun. Ooh, we've been ambushed by Hill Gigos. Let's go ahead and just hit him with some normal attacks here first. They didn't stand up too long to us. Definitely feel like this is a little bit easier than I remember. So we have a downstairs there, and we have a door down there to some treasure probably. I don't see anything else. Oh, there's a door over there to the right. So we got a little exploring to do. And a door to the right. A little bit of a maze here. We'll get up and around. They can't stick to the power of standard attacks. This is true. This is true. What RPG? What RPG for you guys? What RPG of all time has the best story? What is the RPG with the best story of all time? Oh my gosh, it's wolves from like the, I don't know, the first area? Werewolves. Oh, that's a lot of giants. That could end poorly. Ooh, let's hit him on the dice. Oh, they're all frozen giants now. Key? Bet there's a monster in this one. A coral soul sword. Now, one of the interesting things I did like about Final Fantasy I, even back in those days, and it's something I like to, you know, I kind of saw in Pathfinder, the pen and paper role-playing game that was later adapted for like computers and stuff, is the idea that the fighter, you know, usually fighters is kind of like the simple class of just go a quack and hold up a shield. But the idea would be that that your fighter should actually be a master of all these different weapons, and he has to use the right weapon for the job. You know, so in dealing with, you know, a skeleton, he might need a blunt weapon. Dealing with a lich, he might need a magical weapon. You know, a bladed weapon or whatever. So I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. One does not simply answer the question of best story of all time in RPG. That's what I want to hear from you. What is, in your opinion, the RPG with the best story, the most memorable story that just moved you? Maybe it even changed your life. I want to hear your story, and it'll be right here on YouTube as part of this playthrough for all of eternity. It's like, feel the power of my standard attacks. It's a trap. Oh, he's not an enemy at all. Let's see here. Potion, potion, potion. Potion, potion, potion. Go ahead and heal him up. Heal him up. Heal him up just to be on the safe side. Oh, it's just another stupid Earth Elemental. Nobody likes you, Earth Elementals. Ooh, a leather shield. Is that better than an iron shield somehow? No. It pays 5,000 gold just to make up for that insult. Oh, poor fighter's poisoned. Alright. Oh, more spiders. Yay. Can't really think of an answer for them. If I had to pick right now, it's probably Grandia. Though it's not especially exciting or anything. Fun journey, though. But like the story, the plot, the character development, that those really move you. Now, I'm not asking for what's the best RPG of all time, because for that you'd look at things like everything from graphics to battle system and all this other jazz, right? Stupid spiders. Try to get fire underneath their butt. I think there's like a magic rule that if there's more than 4 or 5 enemies, you can use an AoE spell. Okay, now we're on to the 3rd floor, which of course is the biggest of all big floors. Ooh, we have lots of those wizard things. Brain flayers. Wait, so the enemies put you to sleep, being hit again doesn't wake you up? Oh, he's woke up now. Tell you what, we're really raking in the XP here. Go ahead and get up over there for the next room. Ooh, a bunch of giants. Lizard. That wasn't very useful in retrospect. Yeah, grinding for story, I need to spend way more time than I need to come up with a better answer. Well, I honestly think, like, your first impression, like, when something jumps into your mind, oftentimes is the right answer, and sometimes overthinking it can rob you of that true result. They did a psychological study about it one time. It's very interesting. Okay, we got some good XP there. Come on, don't walk any extra squares we don't need to. Let's just get to the door over there. I kind of don't like speaking about a good best story because all I can really speak are for stories that I like. On that note, I have to say, you know what? For some odd reason, my phone has blanked out this next word. I really hate Twitch. I'd have to say tits. Oh, you see, you said tits. And it doesn't like the word tits, Moogle. You know, Twitch doesn't like tits. Nitro gave me satisfied war a fuzzy feeling I finished it. You get those moments when you smile because of what's happening. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, Moogle, it's tits, and that's the problem, okay? It's tits. Monsters! Oh, it's just another elemental. And then you get to the Alien Crisis cores. Trials in the Sky, I've heard so many good things about those games. Really need to play those. Tam goes up a level, gains about 7 hit points, and point of agility. Doomerang goes up 4 hit points. Chew goes up 5 hit points and gains some strength and stamina. Moogle gains 3 whopping hit points and gains strength and luck. And the party gains a golden needle. Ooh, ah. Okay. So, let's head on. Ooh, more giants. I think we discovered last time that using magic on giants isn't really efficient. I didn't especially like Trails in the Sky FC, but I've heard the story takes time to happen. Yeah, I think that's probably the reason I've not really gotten into the series, because it's such a slow burn. Could you imagine if I like streamed all of those? Yeah. Yeah, to your point earlier, Moogle, speaking of, let's see here. A treasure chest. Collected some gil. Let's see what else you say. Yeah, if you're not the type that enjoys the slowness, it can get hard to get into, but I really enjoyed those parts. You know what? I don't mind enjoying the slowness. I just get the, you know, with my limited time. You know, I think that's my concern. I don't have as much time as I would like. Oh, let's use our potions. Boozenheimer, what are you doing up there? Get down off of there. Get down! Boo, you're literally in front of the TV screen. Do you see his tail? You guys see his tail in the camera. This is what I have to live with. Yeah, he just like, I'm in charge of the show. I don't care what you think you have to say. I'm in charge. Ooh, red things in the back. I don't know if those red things are immune to physical attacks. Nope, nope, they seem to do just fine with physical attacks. The Trails series is great, but it's a huge time investment, right? Huge, like Donald Trump, huge. Huge. Oh, looks like we got another bad guy here. We're gonna take him out just because he's in the way. Yay! What was he guarding? He was just guarding this empty room? I guess so. It's interesting you can see those surprise enemies now instead of just kind of like tripping into them. Ooh, cockatrice. You know, now those things will turn to stone. And I don't have very many of those gold needles, so I don't want to trigger too many of those cockatrice attacks. Which, probably a good reminder that it's not a bad idea to, like, you know, quick save. So I was thinking more about what you say, Moogle, and I think a couple of ideas come to mind once we're through the Gauntlet of Rogues in 4 more weeks is, I could do, because we were talking about whether or not to do, like, a long-running RPG. I like that they called the Petrification Cure item soft in some of these games. Yeah, wasn't it called soft originally? I don't think it was originally called needle. Yeah, I don't know. But I do know he's poisoned. But yeah, talking about whether or not to play full play games on here again or something like that. All things in this world are destined to end in death. The seal cannot be broken, and so the earth shall rot. Oh. Oh my, you cannot alter destiny. Mere mortals could not kill the undying. We've got ourselves a boss battle! The mighty Tam, Doomerang Chu, and Moogle Lactomancer versus Vampire. Only one shall survive. Who will it be? Let's see here. I'm a big fan of protecting the squishies first. Let us try our brand new slow spell. Well, he does hit a little hard. Protection. Ah, Corslow misses him. Oh, he regenerates. How cute is that? That's super cute. Let's do haste. You know, this is why I usually prefer haste over slow, because haste always works and slow doesn't. So there's... Oh. Oh, stars. That is anticlimactic. Okay. He's dead. You have obtained the Star Ruby, which I'm going to guess the giant wants to eat to get out of here. Let's see, we do have some doors up there, it looks like, so let's go through these doors. Check my hit points here. I think we're doing good there. You never know when you're going to run into one of those. We've been ambushed by raids. Over-leveled. Yeah, hashtag over-leveled. Hashtag might have grinded a little too much. Two streams of being stuck at the same point in a point-and-click adventure. You liked my idea for the gauntlet of point-and-click puzzle games? Oh, yeah. So I was going to talk about that. So, let's see what this says. A stone slab set into the floor, and evil force seems to emanate from within. That's it? Oh, jeez. I have to run all the way back out of this dungeon now? Mother fudge sicklers. Like, there's no magic that gets you out of here, because that's, like, super high level, right? Warp, I think, gets you out of dungeons, but they're like, yeah, you don't get that till higher level. So, I guess that's it for this dungeon, which is really, really hilarious. Just gotta run, you know, all the way back out, triggering all those random encounters along the way. Escape rope. Yeah, I don't think they have escape rope in this game, dude. It would probably be better if they did, you know? And if you think I wasn't over-leveled enough before, by the time I run all the way back, I can't believe they just... Wow, this is old school. Why would I be surprised? Why should I be surprised, right? Let me just check here. Defeating... wait a minute here. Star Ruby, which you'll need to take to Titan's Cave. If you explore the region by the vampires you'll discover, you won't be able to access the floor below, so head out of the Cavern of Earth for now. So, yeah, FAQ says, congratulations. Somebody run a stopwatch on this, right? You get to run it back out. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to skip ahead, I will probably end this section once I get out of here, and so you can just safely just skip to the next video in the series, and you will don't turn to stone, transfer stone, but you won't miss anything. You're just gonna miss me running all the way back out because that's totally a thing, but we'll continue to go. Would you be surprised, even more surprised if you missed something in the boss room? I would be. Well, I'm not leaving YouTube just yet. I mean, I will keep recording for YouTube. If you're on YouTube and you're continue watching the rest of this particular segment, you're just going to see me running out of the cave. And maybe going to town and rest and stuff before we head over to the giant cave and do the next part of this. Which, I think, after a quick detour, I think we might have to come back in here and go back through these floors again. So that's what's super fun. Because, you know, that slab was in the way. That slab we saw was in the way. So we have to do a lot of backtracking. There was significant backtracking in this game. Yeah, for the people who decide to skip ahead, just go on to part 5. For those of you on Twitch who are suffering with me, God bless your hearts. But yeah, Moogle, I was thinking, so there's a couple things we could do. We could do more weeks of Rogue. we could do weeks of other games. Another idea I had was maybe doing like full play, like pick an RPG and do that Monday through Wednesdays. Then Thursdays, do like a rogue, Thursday rogues. Fridays is always my multiplayer day. Saturdays could be more rogue, could be more rogue. Sometimes, occasionally, Saturdays is me highlighting something new. Right, I've done that a lot on Saturdays. So something new on more rogues. That could be the pattern. Now, let's see here. On the bright side, I guess you can kind of like straight line it out of here because you don't have to stop at, you have to stop for treasure chest on the way back out. But, with random encounters like every 5 feet. But Phil, the dungeon world being big is good. I know, right? Bigger is always better, Chaos. This is just a well-known established fact. Bigger is in fact better. Absolutely. So on Monday we continue my crown trick run. So we'll be putting some time into crown trick there. As much as I really would just want to play more Dungeon Mans. That was pretty funny. That game's pretty funny. And I don't know if I did do a full RPG, what RPG would I play next? I wish there were more shorter RPGs. Okay, it doesn't take it too long to get out this dungeon. Did I write down the time? I don't think I wrote down the time. Write down the time there. Oh, I don't need to write down the time because I'm not going to stop until we get done here. So, that's pretty quick. Actually, it wasn't so bad getting out. For some odd reason, that felt a lot longer in my mind than it ended up being. Okay, so we need to go back over to the giant. Actually feels... Oh, hello, lots of undead. Have you played the Banner Saga games? I played like 3 or 4 hours on my Switch on a flight, and I haven't been back to it. Dungeon Man's made me want to go play Avernum. Have you played a lot of Avernum, Chaos? That's the thing I always find funny reading your commentary first, when people say open world is good. Yeah, there's kind of a running joke that I think Chaos and I have had about, open world supposedly being so good, when honestly, I feel like more times than not, they're not really that great. Oops, I still have my caster casting Diera. Oops. Here's a waste. And now we have to use another antidote. I feel like there should be a button to like sort this stuff out, but doesn't seem like it. I love this music though. Music's so good. Alright, items. Let's go ahead and use a sleeping bag. Banner Saga might be interesting. And we could get, because of all the decision-making stuff, maybe we need to yeah, that could be something like the stream. People could get involved in some of that decision-making, right? It's always fun to kind of get y'all involved in some of that too. Ooh, it's a kitty. It's a lesser tiger. But that tiger isn't nearly as cool as the triple tiger in Dungeonmon. You have Star Ruby? Give me Star Ruby, I let you pass. Munch munch, nothing tastier than rubies. Now he's gonna go over there and shit out an emerald. He's got a bowel movement coming. What? I can't help it if, you know, I mean, he eats rubies. He's got to, you know, it's got to come out some way, somehow. Oh, I'm wasting Diarrhea. Wasting it on spiders. Diarrhea, that one spell that never made it into any other Final Fantasy game. Oh, let's see here. Oops. There you go, got a great axe and a mithril helm. So the Avernum games, you played some of them. Did you ever finish any of them, Chaos, or get very, very far in them? Shin Megami, doesn't that use Dia? You know, I feel like it. Yeah, you're right. Wow. I guess maybe that's like some sort of Japanese from the word, like heal. But I don't remember because I can't remember what it was called. What Dia was called in the original game. If it's really called Dia or whatever. But yeah, it was a heal spell in that one, whereas here it's just used for damaging undead. And it just, well, you know, even though the name hasn't really, like, you just don't really see that spell anymore in the other Final Fantasy games, like an undead-only spell. So after Final Fantasy 1, they got, so there's a lot of things in these Final Fantasy games that are clearly rooted in old-school Dungeons & Dragons games, such as, you know, their inspiration pulling directly from the Vancian casting system with the split spell levels. Ooh, that fire spell looks fancy. Oh, have a nice day. That'll teach y'all. But they kind of got away more and more from that. But, you know, yeah, Dungeons & Dragons, like, you know, was definitely the clerics had the ability to turn undead. And the Dia spell was a way to kind of mirror that ability. But, can you get into these pots? Or is it just a room full of pots? Is that it? Oh, I love the music here. The music's so cool. Just a room full of pots. That's all. So you were the ones who defeated the vampire. But he was just a servant. The beast corrupting the earth crystal lurks much deeper within the cavern. Here, take this staff with you and use it. Behind the vampire's chamber. You have obtained the earth rod. So, poor you two people. Gonna miss all of that. I don't think I finished an Avernum kid. I haven't finished an Avernum game as an adult, so don't feel bad. Those games are pretty tough. Oh, hello, I left fire spell attached. Okay. Those games are pretty tough. I feel like they're kind of like that old school. They're kind of like this old school, you know, problems that sometimes I have where I get lost and you don't know what to do next. And in Vernum's games, things happen in real time, so you could actually, you know, lose notable NPCs if you don't act, you know, accordingly, just to protect the towns or whatever. Which is a cool concept on paper, but it's also, oh gosh, I left this fire on again. That's gonna burn a lot of spiders. So what's really funny with those spiderweb games is you can buy the hint books separately. I don't know if you ever thought about buying the hint books. I heard Geneforge is pretty cool too, actually. I've kind of wanted to look into that because they got some interesting, you know, he's got some interesting concepts going on there with factions and the such. All right, so before we go back into the Earth Cave again, I think I'm gonna I'm going to take a brief respite here and go to the town and rest. So, G-Force got another remake pretty recently. Yeah, and you know, Chaos, I'm not very much into his remakes, I will say that. I think he spends a little too much time on them and not for a lot of gain. Tam goes up a level, and he gains 28 hit points, gains strength, intellect, and luck. Doomerang goes up 4 hit points and gets some luck. Chew goes up by, wow, that looks like 28 hit points and gains a point of luck. Moogle gains 23 hit points and a point of intellect. But it's, you know, I think, I don't, you know, like, I don't know. It's got to be like third time he's released those games, and the changes are really kind of incremental. I mean, they still look super old school to me, you know, and the such. So I don't know. I don't know. Kind of feel like he probably should have handed that project up to somebody else and kept working on original stuff. But then again, if he's making money doing it, he's happy. Then that's cool. As we head back into the Earth Cave. That coral sword looks really corally. Well, and I bet you if I play a Gene Forge game, I wouldn't be losing a whole lot of viewers due to spoiler concerns, because I don't know too many people who really are dying to play that one. I don't know too many people who got Gene Forge on their backlog, or Avernum. I mean, a lot of people have bought it to help support him, and that's cool. But I you know, I don't know. That's an interesting question. Oh, they give you a lot of save files here, in case anybody was worried about that. All right, so we're back in the Earth Cave here, and I almost feel like I got this memorized almost. Well, they're about to get burned. Yeah, like, I feel like people kind of have them on the backlog, but, like, with some of those games, it's like, are you realistically ever going to get to Avernum? Are you really ever going to get to it? Like, be serious. Like, unless you cut yourself off from buying games, you're probably buying them faster than you can play them, you know, anyways. So, and Avernum is not really high up on that list. And if you're not catching up, being realistic, you're probably never going to get to them. Busenheimer. Okay, where are we at on here? We're gonna go down over there. Boy. Oh boy. Come here. Oh, come here. Okay, let's see here. We're almost there. I mean, you can just download and play a specific game anytime you want, not like you have to do your backlog in order. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, are you really okay, so, like, your next game, Chaos. I don't know what game you're planning on playing next. Maybe you're one of those people who doesn't decide. Okay, I went to the wrong door, didn't I? It's down over there. Maybe you're one of those guys who doesn't decide till you get there, right? But are you really going to prioritize Avernum over, let's say, I don't know what else is on your backlog, but might be Scarlet Grace, it might be Scarlet Nexus. It might be The World Ends With You Neo. It might be Samurai Warriors 5. Like, are you really ever going to get to a point where you're going to prioritize a Verdum over all that other stuff when you go and you go, let me think about what to play next. I mean, there's definitely times when you feel more like a more traditional RPG, more tactical RPG. But I don't know if there's ever a time where you're like, okay, or Verdum. It's a Verdum time. I know your priority of Verdum isn't high, is what you're saying. Yeah, well, I think like if people being realistic, like in my heart, I want to play a Verdum, but if I'm being realistic with myself, like if it wasn't for streaming or whatever have you, would it ever really bubble to the top? You know, they say the cream rises to the top. Now I know my own gaming habits. Yeah, it's a Verdum time. Boom, 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 boom. My gaming habits tends to be like, sometimes I feel like a dungeon crawler, sometimes I feel like a rogue, sometimes I feel like a JRPG, and I'll go and I'll look at my spreadsheet, or I'll look at the list, and, you know, I have a spreadsheet, or I'll go in the drawer and just look, and I feel like a DS game, and you look at those, you know, when it comes to the PC, you're looking through Steam, or you're looking through GOG, where literally I have, you know, hundreds of games. And there's definitely times where I'm like, you know what? Like the other day, this happened to me the other day, I was like, you know what, I think I want to play Injustice. And that led to me playing Injustice 2. And that led to me playing Mortal Kombat 9. So I went on this Mortal Kombat kick, right? Just playing through the stories in those. I'm not really good at Mortal Kombat at all. I just like the stories. And you know, it's brainless. So I just mash a bunch of buttons, I put it on easy, I mash a bunch of buttons, I win, and then I get another bit of story. You know, and it's pretty, you know. That's why I have a collection of games, because one day I might get here at my house and want to play Street Fighter. I just can't really think of any times where I'm just like, ooh, I want to play. I put in a Verdum before, don't get me wrong, like it did come up once, but now that I've played it, I can't see it come back up again because it's not that compelling. You know? And what's really funny is, like, it's not even the graphics. I think some of it is the combat. I don't think the combat's all that great and thought out. Do you have softs? I don't have softs, Doomerang. And welcome, by the way, since you're part of the party. I don't have softs. Instead, what I have is golden needles. It's Bard's Tale. One time is playing that at the moment. Yeah, like, I mean, but Bard's Tale 1 gives you experience. I think like a Verdum doesn't have the factor of being from the 1980s. It doesn't have the nostalgia factor. Its combat's not that, I think that one of the things that bothers me about it is the combat's really not that good. It's okay. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's and I think with, what was it, Abaddon, they try to do something different, if I'm not mixing those two up. And it worked a little better, I think, but it's still, Yeah. And it doesn't help with that system too, that when you make skill up choices, you can't go back, and it's not like it's a popular enough game to where there's wikis and stuff, so you might be making poor unoptimized decisions, and I have zero desire like to go through and play an Verdum game again just because I made some bad. It's not Diablo. You just don't want to play it again, you know. They keep my backlog company. That's too funny. When your party members are hard as a rock, you soft. It's kind of like the blue pill. It's like the red pill, right? You know what the blue pill does, but did you know there's times where you need a red pill, where you're just too hard and you need to soften up? It's time to take the new soft. Exactly, the new red pill. It's a new red pill. It's a little red pill that no man should be without, or a woman for that matter. You got me. Which part did I get you on? I totally forget. Listening to 3 things at once is hard. Yeah, I don't know how you listen to 3 things at once. Well, I go with Moogle. I'm with you. I don't really care about optimized builds, but the problem is in some games is that building using a build that's not well optimized can result in you not getting too much further into the game. So anyways, if you guys manage to stay on YouTube for this long, we are now basically back up to where this dungeon should progress now, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go ahead and save here with a quick save. And we'll be back with part 5, where we'll continue our foray into the Earth Cave. So on YouTube, my name is Philip K. JCServant, the Utah Polygamist, hoping that in all your future adventures, you have enough softs to help yourself out when you're too hard. Have a good evening.